You're looking at a live view of Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia. And yes, the Napa 250 is in a weather delay as rain started here just about a half an hour ago. In fact, it was coming down in sheets. You can see one lucky soul who managed to find a little bit of cover under the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series trailer. But it is still raining here and will probably be so for about the next 30 to 40 minutes. There is the number 2 truck of Mike Wallace. We can tell you that he is going to start this race on the pole. Hello again, everybody. I'm Marty Reed alongside Benny Parsons. Good to have you back, buddy. Why'd you bring the rain?
I didn't mean to. There's nothing in the world worse than being at a racetrack with rain because you've got so much anticipation of the event about to start, all these guys ready, and everything was ready. The cars, the trucks have been through inspection. Everything is ready to go, and then the rain comes.
Yeah, just about 1:27 Eastern time, and it looked for a while like maybe we might be able to squeak this one in, but then all of a sudden it just opened up, and right now it is continuing to rain. But as we say, the family that races together in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series gets wet together, and that's where we find Amy East, one of our 2 pit reporters. Amy?
Thanks, Marty. And for the second race in a row, Mike Wallace finds himself on the pole position, coming off the big win at Mason Marin, where your brother Rusty scored his 50th. This could be a Wallace weekend once again with the 2 brothers sitting on the front row of the Winston Cup race tomorrow.
Oh, it's an excellent weekend for the Wallace family with Kenny on the outside, the front row for the Cup race, Rusty on the pole, myself for the truck race here, and somebody told me we control 75% of the front row at Martinsville this weekend, so we're real excited. All the guys at Team ASE and Penske Engines, the Ford F-150 have done a wonderful job and looking to two-peat here for the weekend.
Speaking of Ford F-150, that's not what you're sitting in right now, is it? A Ford F-150? Because I'm standing out here in the rain. I was just wondering how nice and dry this truck was.
Simpson Race Products truck. I looked over there. We're always trying to stand under a tent to stay dry, and I thought, I can go get the keys for that thing and sit in there and be dry and turn the radio on, listen to a few tunes, and that's what we've been doing.
All right, well, good luck, Mike. And, you have been the surprise this year with your excellent qualifying. Not to kind of put him under the bus or anything, but his qualifying was a little rough last year. And some surprise in qualifying yesterday at Martinsville is standing by with Dave Burns.
Thanks, Amy. I'm standing by with Bobby Gill, who qualified the Line-X Ford 5th today here at Martinsville. Actually, he qualified it yesterday. And, Bobby, at the beginning of the year, you were so hopeful, testing down at Daytona, super fast. Had to give up the ride for some business dealings with Billy Blue, but the relationship between you and truck owner Billy Blue and crew chief Richie Waters seems to be a great one. Are you guys ready to go this weekend?
Yeah, we are. We qualified 7th yesterday, and happy our truck was pretty good, and we just got to stay off the brakes and have some brakes there at the end, so we run up front.
So what is the deal now? Jeffrey Bodine started the truck in Daytona. Barry Bodine raced it for 3 races. You're in the truck now. What can we expect for the rest of the year?
Right now, the Line-X for sure is going to do 4 races. We're trying to get a full deal put together, and if that goes through, then we'll finish out the rest of the year in the trucks.
Now, we call you a surprise qualifying 5th, but should we be? I mean, your experience on short tracks, with heavy vehicles is pretty good, and you were last year's Hooters Pro Cup champion, so you know the short tracks pretty well.
Yeah, that's all I ever grew up on, the short tracks. I had run some big tracks. We went to Daytona and had the fast time down in that last practice, so it's just... I'm 40 years old, and I got experience now. And with this good team right here, I think we could run up front all the tracks.
And the team seems really excited, guys. Richie Waters, the crew chief, and everybody here seems very excited to have Bobby Gill along. And he won a race just a couple of weeks ago, so he hasn't been out of the seat completely. He won at St. Augustine in another Hooters Pro Cup race.
Well, thanks, Dave. And Amy, stay as dry as you possibly can as the rain continues to fall. Here at Martinsville, this does give us one opportunity, BP. We can talk about this being the home track of Petty Enterprises, and of course a big week this week involving the passing of Lee Petty, the patriarch.
They started in NASCAR Winston Cup racing started in 1949 at Charlotte, North Carolina. Lee Petty was there for the first race, and they raced here in Martinsville in 1949, and I would guess that Lee Petty was here for that race. So there's been a Petty at Martinsville since the very beginning, and yes, this was their home track. Grew up just south of Greensboro, probably 70, 80 miles from here, and all the years when they thought of a home track, Martinsville was it for the Petties.
Well, Steve Grissom's in the number 43. He qualified 13th. He won a Busch race here back in 1990. Fred Wanke, his crew chief, has had great success here. He won with Jimmy Hensley last year, finished second the year before that. In 97, he won with Rich Bickle. So he knows what to do, and they have dedicated this race, and they are bound and determined to bring it home. And we pay our tribute to the patriarch of the Petty clan. A cornerstone of our sport, Lee Petty died this past Wednesday at age 86. He had so many firsts in his racing career, it would be literally impossible to document here in our simple tribute. He won more races on dirt than any driver in NASCAR history. But he was good enough on pavement to win the inaugural Daytona 500 on the fastest track ever built for stock cars. He was consistent enough to win 3 championships, and when he competed in his final race in 1964, he was the series' all-time win leader at the time with 54 victories, a record he would hold until it would be broken by his son. Lee Petty's legacy is in his stature in the NASCAR record books and in the strength and reputation of his family. We were fortunate to have such a man at the foundation of this great sport. The rain delay continues here at Martinsville Speedway as the Napa 250 is held up for at least the next, probably 45 minutes to an hour. And we are going to be taking you to some standby programming here in the not-too-distant future. But we want to touch base with some of our other teams as the rain continues to fall. You know, we talked about the family concept with Mike Wallace, but Terry Cook's family also has that involvement. His crew chief is brother Jerry. Let's go to Amy. Dave.
Actually, Marty, I'm standing by with Terry Cook and with Jerry Cook by his side. And Terry picked up new sponsorship a couple of races ago from pickuptruck.com. So they're having a good year, and he qualified 9th here at Martinsville. How difficult was it to get at the truck that far up in the standings?
It was quite difficult. I mean, we've had 4 good races under our belt, but there were 4 tough races, starting off down there at Daytona. But we're really happy about our new sponsor, pickuptruck.com, and just things are working well for us right now.
Okay, you work with your brother Jerry every week. You guys ever get any like brother fights like when you were growing up, or is it pretty easy to work with him? It's
actually very easy to work with him. He's real good about reading my mind, know what I want on the truck, and I know what he's thinking. And between the two of us, the chemistry works real well. So it's been a great package for us so far this year.
Now, Jerry, one thing that the guys have told me, other than Terry being behind you and trusting you, they trust you a lot. You're a racer. I believe that's why, right? I mean, you know how to do this thing. Is that why?
Well, I think that's a big part of it. We've got a great group of guys. This team stepped up quite a bit this year. I mean, we basically got the same group of guys. The only thing that's different is some of our outside sources have helped us out, stepped up. Chevrolet's been a big asset for us this season. Pickuptruck.com's been a big asset. The team owners stepped up. So it's just this conglomeration of everybody stepping up a little bit. We've basically got the same group of guys, just everybody's picking it up, and it's working.
And other than having to paint everything orange in the last few weeks, guys, they have had a pretty good, easy run here this year so far. They're excited about the 2000 season. That's Terry Cook and his brother Jerry. Now let's go over to Amy East.
Well, our 6th quick qualifier seems to think we're waiting for a flood because he made me climb up 3 rows of tires to talk to him. Actually, Joe Ruttman knows it's drier up here at the top of the tent. Joe, let's talk a little bit about Martinsville. You won back here in 1995. Was it a Monday? Was it a Monday that you won on here?
You know, I don't really remember, but I do believe it was on a Monday. So I've been doing a rain dance out here all day long. I don't know if I can repeat myself, but yes, it was on a Monday. So I guess I should stay warm today and just say, okay, boys, remember what happened in 95 or 85, whenever that was. I forget now, 42 or 69 or whatever number that was. We're going to have a good time anyway.
Well, you're racing against your team owner for the 2nd time this year, Bobby Hamilton, and I understand there was a swap of trucks in the camp here between the two of you. You kind of had the fast bullet at Daytona. Do you feel like Bobby's got the fast bullet this weekend?
Well, I think he probably is a little better driver and has a faster truck, but, you know, the same thing could happen to Daytona. You know, I can knock him out, and then it won't be so fast anymore, you know. Bobby, are you watching? I hope you're not, you know. I was just kidding. Boys, you're going to stand. Look at how quiet they are. They're not even saying anything. They're going, oh, my God, he's going to be in trouble, you know.
You know, I think that's the look on their face most of the time down here in Joe Ruttman's camp. Good luck to you, Joe. Let's get it back upstairs.
Okay, thanks, Amy. And we were going to have Benny give us a tap dance, but remember, he's got that bum leg. So instead, we're going to go back to Bakersfield from 2 weeks ago. It was the first round of our short track season. There were 11 different leaders, so it was a great race. We'll come back when we can. Truck Series at the Napa 250. But let's catch up with one of the hottest drivers on the tour. He's a rookie by the name of Kurt Busch. David?
Marty, he's standing by in this cool 64-degree weather right now. That is Kurt Busch. And earlier this week on RPM Tonight, Kurt told our John Kernan that the next 17 races, his experience would only be on watching videotapes. You watched the Martinsville race here last year. What did you watch?
We watched mainly the competition on who was going to be fast. So when we came here, we knew who to follow. And watch the racetrack, who had the good lines. Jimmy Henley's a hometown hero here. We're just looking to follow in behind them during the race and see if we can't make 250 laps.
Okay, and he will start next to Jimmy Hensley as he lines up back in the pack and try to follow Jimmy to the front of this thing. Amy?
Well, his teammate is Greg Biffle, who was the runner-up in the points last year, and again off to a good start, 4th in points. Let's talk about your role with your teammate, Kurt Busch. You're kind of like the big guy now. He probably comes to you for a lot of advice. What do you tell Kurt?
Well, lately I've been going to Kurt for advice. You know, he's doing a great job, but you know, we work together. Our teams work together well, and Kurt's a good, talented driver, so it's great, you know, working with him, and we're able to trade some setups back and forth, and especially short track racing where our program lacks just a little bit, has in the past. We did a lot better at Bakersfield this year for us, and we got a really good truck here today, and if we can just get rid of this rain, I think we'll be off to a good start.
You've been on the go a lot lately. You just told me that before we came on air here, testing the Winston Cup car for Chad Little, and then quite a bit also on RPM tonight. We saw you this week, so very busy again for you. Is it deterring from your truck program at all?
I don't think so. You know, actually, the more I stay busy, it seemed last year the better we did, and I don't know what that is. Maybe it keeps your mind off of things, and but no, we're off to a good start this year. A lot better off than we were last year, and I just really feel good about today. I think we have a really good truck here, and the guys have done a great job for us all season so far, and just excited to get home next week to Portland and probably be like this there too. So we'll be ready to race in the rain out there.
Okay, well, they give us rain tires in Portland, so let's hope we get it in here today.
Well, Biffle finished 5th here last year, and he will be one of the guys to watch. Stay with us. The rain has gone to a drizzle. Down, so we are going to be held up for a little while longer. But while we've got a moment, BP, let's go back to qualifying, because we saw something happen with Dennis Setzer, who was the quickest in practice, but it really threw a monkey wrench into that team's plans.
Dennis Setzer was one of the fastest trucks in practice session. He goes in his qualifying run. He gets in turn 3 and realizes he's not off to a good lap. And he's coming down for the white flag. And when you do that, when you come off turn 4, when you can't come off the top speed, I'm trying to say, then you mess up both laps. The lap you're on there plus the next lap. So Dennis said, wait a minute, I think to really get a good lap, I'll just back up all the way to turn 1, and then I'll start again. And that's exactly what he did. But Dennis Setzer is a veteran of so many short tracks, the Caraway Speedway down in Asheboro, North Carolina, Hickory Speedway, all those short tracks all over North Carolina, and I know that he has done that before. Pretty sure he's done that before.
Well, we'll be able to find out. That first lap, Dave Burns, was recorded at 15 miles an hour, and then he ended up 26th fastest with that second lap. Let's get the word from Dave and Dennis.
Well, Marty, and no one was on the radio with Dennis, so he made that decision to do that backing up on your own. Now, why wasn't the second lap real good, Dennis? It didn't quite work out the way you wanted it to.
Actually, when I backed up, I'd kind of weaved around. It's hard to back these things out of a mirror right there. It's got a wing-type mirror in it right there, or either a curve-type mirror. So I was actually backing up, and I went up through where the marbles and stuff was and got all kind of junk on the tires and just killed the second lap also.
Okay, so what have you told yourself now? Last year here, you had a little incident trying to pass a lap truck, and you were leading the race, and now this incident. I mean, Martinsville's kind of bad luck for you. Have you been talking to yourself since yesterday?
No, you know, I just know I got to start the race, keep the front end on the truck, you know, and have something left. I can get to these guys up front. Just got to have something for when I get there.
And no doubt he's going to be fast, guys, so keep an eye on him. Now, Amy is standing by with the guy who won the race last year, Jimmy Hensley.
Yes, Dave, last year he won it for the King, but he's also known as the King of Martinsville. And Jimmy Hensley, I have to tell you, I'm a little disappointed in your qualifying run. What happened?
I don't really know, Amy. We actually did a little something to the truck we thought might help it a little bit. We were struggling a little bit in practice and kind of rolled the dice, you might say, and kind of backfired on us and really got too loose to qualify good here. So starting way back, and hopefully we'll start today. It doesn't look real good right now, but hopefully we can work our way up through there and not getting wrecks and things and have a good finish.
Well, we should point out that you're with a new team this year with Renzi Motorsports. A little bit of a rough start involved in that crash at Daytona, but you guys have really bounced back. A great run at Bakersfield. Do you feel like it's starting to gel now?
Well, we hope so. You know, the Chevrolet's running good for us. Renzi Motorsports doing a good job for us. The team's working really hard, and actually have ran a little better than our finishes indicate. And, you know, that's a positive. You know, everybody's, like I say, is working hard. So hopefully we got a bad starting spot here at Martinsville, but hopefully we can wind up and have a good finish.
Okay, well, if anybody can finish good after a poor qualifying start, it would be Jimmy Hensley. He hopes to get in the truck and show us what he's got.
Well, thanks, Amy. Jimmy qualified in the number 21 position, so it's going to be a long road to the front. That's if we can get going. Stay with us. We've got to take a commercial break. We're in a rain delay. We're in a rain delay here at the Napa 250 at Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia. We're hoping to get the race in today. We're going to hold out that hope as long as possible. When we do go racing, Mike Wallace will be on the pole for the second straight race in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. He won it last week at Bakersfield, or actually I should say 2 weeks ago, and he's on the pole again here. When we come back, we'll go back to Bakersfield and show you the conclusion of the race, and then we'll update you here. Position, but we're still holding out hope, and we hope you will also. The one thing I can tell you, two things actually. Benny's winning the card game, and we've sent out for flippers for Dave Burns and Amy East. We'll take a commercial break, then back to Bakersfield. 50, and it's the first time we've had rain since 1995 when we ran the race on Monday, and that is an option. As you can see how hard the rain is falling. The decision has not been made yet. We want to emphasize that. We're still hoping that this line, and according to the radar, which is right there at the NASCAR Craftsman trailer, it is supposedly pushing through, and the flags are still blowing very briskly. So we're hoping to get this track dried out and be able to race. That's our pole sitter's truck, Mike Wallace. You just saw a glimpse of it there, and you can see just how hard it has come back down again, Benny. And I got to be honest, it's not looking real good.
I might have lied to you. Just maybe I might have. I didn't mean to, but I really thought that the rain would move out here. It looked like that band was narrow enough that it would move out. We'd be able to race about 4:30, but as you can tell, it's pouring down rain right now. And once it stops, there's going to be a drying off period, and they've got the jet dryers here, but it's still going to take some time to do that.
All right, let's tell you what's going to happen if we do get postponed today. Or should I say, if we get this in, because we're going to be going off the air here very shortly. If it runs today, you'll see it tonight at 8 o'clock on ESPN2. That's 8 o'clock tonight, ESPN2, if we can get this thing in today. If not, the Napa 250 will be run on Monday morning at 11 a.m. on ESPN Live right here. So now you know what the options are. We'll sort of keep our fingers crossed. Dave, did you get those flippers we sent down to you there, buddy?
Yeah, we got them, and Rick Crawford's crew has put them on, and they look kind of goofy. But, no, we're standing here with Rick. He's been one of the fastest trucks all weekend long here at Martinsville, but I can't figure it out. I can't tell if this place is good to you or not, because in qualifying, you ended up 18th. What do you think?
I think the driver left a little bit on the table there. We've been preparing the Milwaukee Electric Tool canoe right this minute. The only thing we passed with our Ford F-Series motor in that thing has been a couple of ducks. But anyway, we've had a good week this week, and as far as having the truck prepared when we got here, things worked out well for us. And like I say, I mean, I've won here, I think in '95 with a Haynes 150, and we know where victory lane's at, and we sure wanted to try to get there today.
When we start this thing, will this track be washed completely and changed completely because of all this rain?
If it is, and the weather changes, I think it'll only take about 20 laps to have this track back to where we was. I mean, you know, with the rubber on the ground, all the trucks acting about the same. I doubt a lot of people will adjust for that, and we'll have it back the way it was. So, I mean, if a minor adjustment's needed, that's fine, because, you know, when you go in the corners here, you're running basically the same speed. It's just a little tight or a little loose. You can adjust for that during the race. So the fans are going to see a great race. I just wish we could race.
Well, we hope to at some point. We talked to Dennis Setzer earlier, who starts far back. Rick Crawford starts back as well. When this thing gets going, it's going to be exciting to see some of these fast trucks come up through the pack.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Despite the rain, we're going to have a lot of racing coming up tomorrow at Martinsville, and hopefully a little bit later today on ESPN2. The NASCAR Winston Cup Series coverage begins at RPM today, 11:30 Eastern Time on ESPN2 tomorrow. Then NASCAR Today on ESPN at 12:30 Eastern. And then it's the Goodies Body Pain 500, 1 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, followed at 7 o'clock Eastern Time for RPM tonight. Now, coming up next, it's 2000 B3, stop number 1, bikes. You don't know what that is? Well, tune in and you'll be able to find out. Again, remember, if we get this race in, you'll be able to see it at 8 o'clock tonight on ESPN2. Otherwise, you'll see it on Monday at 11 a.m. on ESPN. For Benny, Dave, and Amy, I'm Marty Reed. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time here on ESPN.
ESPN NASCAR 2000 coverage comes to you today from historic Martinsville Speedway, a legendary short track that has challenged NASCAR's finest for over 5 decades.
There's no better racing than when the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series hits the short tracks. They were born to showcase fender rubbing, side by side, close action on and off the track. Either you do the hitting, or you get hit yourself. Such is Martinsville. It's survival on the half mile. You don't score points for grace and poise. It's in your face, metal to metal, where every second counts. And if you're not watching, it'll send you spinning. Something else that can blindside you at a short track? Qualifying. I spoke with the driver of the 84, Scott Riggs, just before his qualifying attempt on Friday and said, are you going to give us a show like you did last year at IRP where you qualified a surprise 7th? He said, I'll try, and he did. He qualified 5th. Now the question is, can his relatively inexperienced crew get him on and off of pit road quickly? Losing track position in the pits is a whole lot worse than losing a fender when you're on a short track.
Just 2 weeks ago, Rusty Wallace's number 2 Ford tamed the high banks of Bristol to score win number 50. But there was more to come just 2 hours later. This time, it was a truck with a 2 on it. Not Rusty, but Mike, who reigned supreme at Mason Marin for an all-Wallace weekend. Although Rusty dominated the Winston Cup race, the end result was not what he expected. It'll be up to Mike to put a Wallace in victory lane here at Martinsville. The 2 truck has 2 wins, 2 poles, but only 1 ring from the inaugural Daytona 250. So with the way they've been racing so far this year, they could be wearing a championship ring by the end of the season.
Jimmy Hensley knows how to win at Martinsville and celebrate in front of the hometown crowd. Now he's dialing in a new number, and the 16 is coming on strong. Can he remember the way to victory lane? The famous 43 knows how to get there, but the faces changed. Steve Grissom knows this track from his Busch Series days, but now he's trucking Craftsman style for the king, Richard Petty. Although Grissom starts 13th in the Petty Dodge today, Benny Parsons, he has to be considered among the favorites because this is the Petty's home track.
Petty Enterprises Complex in Level Cross, North Carolina, about 75 miles due south of here. When they first started racing Winston Cup cars here in 1949, Lee Petty was in the race, and almost every year since then, a Petty has been in the race. They're hurting right now, but we know a victory would kind of ease the pain a little bit.
What better way to ease the pain and pay tribute to the patriarch of the Petty family than with a victory here today at Martinsville Speedway. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, presents NASCAR. Today, from the legendary Martinsville Speedway in Virginia, it's the 6th running of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Napa 250. After 4 of 25 events, despite 2 victories, just 14 points separates Mike Wallace from Andy Houston. How about a rookie back in 3rd place, Kurt Busch, 2 second-place finishes, Greg Biffle, former Rookie of the Year, and 55-year-old Joe Rutman rounding out the top 5. Let's take a look at the Mopar starting grid. 44 trucks came here to compete. Only 36 will be able to start, led by who else? The point leader and 2-time winner this year, Mike Wallace. How about Winston Cup veteran Bobby Hamilton, who's a former winner in Winston Cup competition? Rick Corelli, the High Plains drifter, comes back to qualify 3rd, and beside him, defending and 2-time NASCAR Truck Series champion Jack Sprague. Back in row 3, first start of the year, only his 3rd start ever. A late model stock car driver, Scott Riggs, and there's the ageless one, Joe Rutman in the Dodge. Bobby Gill coming out of the All-Pro ranks. Hooters Pro Cup champion from a year ago, and Randy Renfro in a Dodge. As you look at our starting lineup, Benny Parsons, so competitive, so close in this field, and what a day this should be here on a very, very tight half-mile oval.
Beautiful day here at the Martinsville Speedway, and most of these guys came to the race yesterday, watched the NASCAR Winston Cup guys race for 500 laps. They saw a great deal of beating and banging. 17 caution flags here yesterday at Martinsville, the NASCAR Winston Cup. So if that being said, maybe we should have 7 or 8 here today in just 250 laps for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Some of the rookies, there are 5 rookies in the field. You saw Kenny Martin. Now, Dennis Setzer will be a truck to watch early on, starting outside of row 13. He was among the fastest in practice, had a problem in qualifying, spun his Dodge in qualifying, and thus had to back around and start back in the field. There's Coy Gibbs, younger son of the 3-time Super Bowl winner, Joe Gibbs.
Conrad Burr out of the NASCAR Slim Jim All-Pro. Bob Morgan, a record competitor on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Lance.
36 trucks set to compete for over $400,000 coming your way next here at Martinsville Speedway. When we come back, we'll wave the green flag, so stay with us. Our Race analysis shows you 250 laps here on a half-mile racetrack. There's the purse over $400,000 pit window. We may have to worry about fuel mileage here because they've beat and banged so much, Benny. There's the race record. Jimmy Hensley won it a year ago, driving for the King Richard Petty. Only 2 previous winners to Phil Hensley and Joe Ruttman, who won it the last time we had a rainout and ran on a Monday.
And the NASCAR has given the field the signal that they would take the green this time by. Dennis Setzer, a Mopar onboard camera. And Bobby Hamilton brings him down on the outside pole.
They are 2x2 up the back straightaway, 800 feet, and they crowd into that tight turn. Headed out of turn 4 the first time by.
And Bobby Hamilton's grabbed the lead. Sprague goes into second, and upholster to Mike Wallace is now back to third. And Randy McDonald brings the 3M Chevrolet into pit road. Man, tough break this early on.
Here's a challenge as Jack Sprague in the truck number 24, defending series champion. A little bump in the back of Hamilton. It gets hot in a hurry here at Martinsville, not wasting any time at all. Putting the chrome horn. Chevrolet the 24, Dodge is the truck number 4, the Dana Dodge.
Riding on board with Mike Wallace back in third spot. This is the Team ASE onboard camera as he looks at those first 2 trucks.
Single file back through about the top 7 or 8 spots. Here's some contact. The Dodge number 43, that is Steve Grissom. And the 41 truck, that is Randy Renfro out of Wilson, North Carolina, the Ferris Concrete Dodge.
Still there, clear. Clear all around. Good job.
Andy Houston back in the Cat Reynolds Chevrolet, the red and yellow truck. Our winner down at Miami Homestead. Trying to ease by Renfro on the outside. Can't do it as Brian Repter tries now to get on the inside of Houston. Now Houston's going to try it on the inside. Man, he drove it deep in the corner.
Houston, legendary second-generation driver. His dad, Tommy Houston, a 2-time winner here in the NASCAR Push Series. There's Houston in the truck number 60, the Caterpillar machine, the Chevrolet.
That's Kenny Schrader. He stayed over to drive the Federated Auto Parts Chevrolet number 52. He and Brian Repter, the 3 truck, race side by side. Now Schrader's going to try it by Houston on the outside.
Schrader's first of 5 starts this year in NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. We're riding along with Kenny Schrader, looking out the left side there. Whoa, look at that curbing come by.
Schrader still on the outside. Oh, and we see Refner hit that curb, and you see what happens when you hit it with the left front. You lose 3 or 4 truck lengths. And Schrader's still trying to get on the outside of Andy Houston.
Well, let's update what happened at the very start with the 72 truck of Randy McDonald with Dave.
Jerry, Randy radioed in right after the start of the race and said something broke. They pushed it to pit lane. When they pushed him away, having not found the problem, there were no fluids on their pit stall, so they're going underneath the truck and underneath the hood to try to determine what in the world happened to Randy McDonald.
Great side-by-side action. Houston in the 60 truck. That's Schrader, the Winston Cup veteran who finished 13th here on Sunday, and the goodie's body pain, and that's how close they are.
When he gets black, folks, that's not good. See? That means that they're literally rubbing each other.
Too close for the camera to even focus. Federated Auto Parts sponsorship for Schrader. Andy Houston, they are battling door-to-door for position. That would be for the 12th spot. Mike Copes, truck suddenly slow. The RC Royal Crown machine, that's the Dodge for...
Shove behind the wall and pull the rear gears out of it.
The rear end gear is gone, we heard Mike Copes say.
Boy, if he couldn't catch a... He didn't have bad luck. He wouldn't have any luck at all this year. They have struggled. A David Hodgson team for Cope and Tolsma. They're having some good runs. He goes behind the wall. Once again, That's how close you can even get a good look at the brake dust coming off those right front brakes of Andy Houston.
I thought Schrader had him that time. But Andy Houston trying to bring that number 60 back on the inside. Looks like Schrader is in front of him right now, but still not far enough along that he wants to go down to the inside.
Federated Auto Parts onboard camera for Ken Schrader. Mentioned he will run 5 this year in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Here, Dover, New Hampshire, Richmond, and California. The companion events, of course, to NASCAR's Winston Cup, where he will be in the M&M's Pontiac. We are in the early laps here at Martinsville Speedway. 14 are complete in the Napa 250. Bobby Hamilton continuing to show the way. We welcome you back to NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series action here at Martinsville Speedway. I'm Jerry Punch, along with Benny Parsons, Dave Burns, and Amy East. Giving you an exciting Monday afternoon edition. NASCAR action, Truck Series style. There's Bobby Hamilton, the leader, 42 years of age. Former winner here in Winston Cup competition. In fact, set on the pole with a track record and won the race back in 1998 in the spring. Dominating by leading 378 laps a day. See Jack Sprague, the 2-time series champion, running in second spot.
Hamilton starting to catch on some of the slower traffic. Ron McGlynn, the 00, is now going a lap down. And you see this is, I think, the 10 truck of Tom Carey has slowed. The Detroit Locker Dodge. The left front tire is back. And Rick Corelli, who was running about 5th spot, is coming into the pits.
The Dale Phelan-owned truck for Corelli coming down as you see Carey's truck come in. There is the Carlin machine for Rick Corelli. As he heads down at 35 miles an hour toward you, Amy East.
I just got the word down here in Rick Corelli's pit that it is a gear problem. We expected to see that here at Martinsville. They did go a couple extra laps at the beginning to get the gear oil heated up in these trucks. The crew has now run down pit lane to get their driver. He's not going to make it to their pit stall. Bad luck for Rick Corelli.
Wow, that is a terrible break for Rick Corelli.
Now we see Schrader's been able to get by the 60 truck of Houston. He's up on the outside of Randy Renfro, trying to take away the 10th position, and he looks like he's going to make it happen.
Going to try to carry Andy Houston with him. You see Schrader's progress. Started 20th, currently in 11th spot. You saw Tom Carey, though, flash by a moment ago. You saw him on pit road. That's the 10 truck, the driver out of the Busch Grand National North Series. We heard Mike Cope mention a moment ago the pinion gear, ring and pinion in his rear end. Now we've seen Corelli in the pits. Obviously, rear end's a big concern here with the grip they have on this concrete racetrack. You see the onboard Lucas oil telemetry for Kenny Schrader.
And we'll see as he goes down the straightaway, 8,600 RPMs.
That 800-foot front straightaway. Schrader now being shown in 10th position. You just joined us, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series action coming your way from Martinsville Speedway. After a 48-hour delay, this race was scheduled for Saturday. The rains and cold weather moved in on Saturday. It cleared up on Sunday for the Winston Cup running of the Goodies Body Paint 500, won by Mark Martin. And, of course, we have a Monday afternoon edition. NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series action. The 6th time they have come here to Martinsville, and they have never had a repeat winner. 5 different faces have gone to victory lane in 5 years of Craftsman truck action.
There's Terry Cook in the 88, and we see a truck spun. Kurt Busch has spun the Exide Ford, and man, that's a tough spot to be.
You're left down. That's okay. It's all right. The yellow, the leaders picked up the yellow. Pat.
Kurt trying to get that Ford refired, leading Rookie of the Year candidate right against the curbing there.
Let's go through the grass over the curb. He can make it. He can make it. All right. Get her going.
try to get around to Matt Chambers and company. See if there's
Oh,
damage.
he almost makes contact with Dennis Setzer as he tries to get the truck off and running.
Watch from Setzer's onboard.
This is back in green flag competition. Goes in the corner, and here Busch comes down, and that's what caused him to spin. He comes down, and Dennis Setzer gets in the left rear. Oh, I guess that was Kurt Busch saying, oh, I didn't appreciate you hitting me in the left rear. So that's what happened after he got the truck going again. I see.
That's the Craftsman Truck Series form of a wave. We'll find out how tempers will flare here as they did yesterday with more from Martinsville in just a moment. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Martinsville Speedway, where just as at any short track, there is always trouble early. But Rick Corelli, you did not want it to be you. I see the crew's changing a rear end gear. What happened?
Just come up off of 2, and I felt a vibration. The gear just broke. We're just riding into 66 Carlin Burners Ford, trying to get some laps, save the thing. We're riding there in 4th, but unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be today. And we'll get out there, get some laps on the truck, and see what we can get out of this.
Okay, well, Rick Corelli will look to redeem himself at Portland in 2 weeks.
Yesterday was a great day for Rick Corelli, not such a good day today. Yesterday, he was at the Masters in Augusta, Georgia, with his sponsor, checking out Vijay Singh's victory.
How about that? Being down on the beautiful grounds at Augusta. Today, he's on the concrete here. Restart, Bobby Hamilton, Nashville, Tennessee, the Dana Corporation Dodge. He's led from the very first lap of this one. Mike Wallace was our pole sitter.
Kurt Busch gets on the inside of Scott Rigg.
You're all right. Going inside. Hang on to it. Hang on to it. You're clear all around. Clear all around, right?
And you see Greg Biffle trying. He's going to make it 3 wide as he goes in on the inside of the 00 Ryan McClin. Who is that white car on the outside? Man.
Atta baby. Clear all around. Go get that 88.
I guess that Schrader was that hung out on the outside. He's trying to go by Biffle on the outside now.
Very tight quarters here at Martinsville. There is the Granger Select. Ford for Greg Biffle.
Checking our Lucas Oil telemetry. We see that he drives in the corner, slams on the brakes, gets down to 63 miles per hour. The
There's the Chevrolet Schrader. Trying to go around the Ford of Biffle, and he can't quite make it stick coming off the corner.
And almost good, but not quite.
They're looking back from Steve Grissom's Petty Dodge.
Now, Schrader's about to lose a spot to Andy Houston in the 60 truck.
And he will lose that spot. Houston dives beneath Schrader and said, let me see if I can do something with Biffle up here. Biffle awfully stout. Biffle's Ford sticking coming off the corner.
Houston going by. Dennis Setzer, he's back in the 15th position in the Mopar Dodge.
3 starts here at Martinsville. His best finish at 10th. Let's check in with Dave.
Well, Jerry, Dennis was one of the guys that appreciated the delay. The rain on Saturday would have forced him to drive extremely hard from his 26th starting position. This morning, he told me, I can be a lot more patient now, even though that's been a bane of his here at Martinsville, is patience, but he can be a lot more patient now when he's got 250 laps to race rather than about 125.
Now, these 2 Dodges you're looking at here, Randy Tolzman, the Super Guard, number 25, and Dennis Setzer in the number 1, were the 2 fastest vehicles, bar none, in practice. They both struggled a little bit in qualifying. Tolzman had a problem in happy hour when Kurt Busch's team left a hose loose and he had to spin around. They worked to the late hours, Gary Showalter, to get that Super Guard Dodge put back together. No fault of Tolzman, but neither he nor Setzer have had very good luck thus far here in the year 2000. In fact, they've had rotten luck.
It's just amazing these trucks are back in 14th and 15th position as we see Setzer trying to...
One outside. Still there. Clear. Outside.
Great action. Setzer trying to make a move on the outside of Tolzman. And a Setzer cutting his teeth on the short tracks in western North Carolina.
Randy Renfro, he's fallen back to the 12th position.
Well, we always take a look at someone to watch during our NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series action. This week, it is Randy Renfro with the number 41.
You got to really stay on top of this thing. And no matter what kind of racing you're doing to get to this level, and there's plenty of guys back home that can do the same thing I'm doing. I feel lucky that they've gotten the chance. But, hey, this little Friday and Saturday night, little bull rings like where Horner Day came from, where I came from, Jack, you know, Andy Houston, Marty. Hey, that's where you learn. That's where you cut your teeth on racing. And I think, you know, somebody asked me if my little boy wanted to race, what I was going to make him do first. He's going to go to the dirt track.
Indeed. There's a look at Randy Renfro. Wilson, North Carolina, 1998 Super Sub. Drove for 4 different teams, 3 different makes. More than 150 wins in late model stocks. And, of course, his best finish of 5th at Mesa Marin back in the spring, back last month. The one to watch here in NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series action.
About won that thing at Bakersfield, Jerry. He and Joe Rutten, remember, got together just a few laps to go. Renfro trying to win.
You know, Benny, his last 2 outings, an 8th at Phoenix and a 5th at Bakersfield. This team's really coming on.
Well, Randy Renfro feels like he has a good shot here today. Although he qualified 8th and is currently running 12th, he has several laps at this track with the Slim Jim All-Pro Series and also in late model stocks. Right now, they are complaining of a tight condition, though. And crew chief Todd Myers has told Randy, hold on, it's a long race. The truck should come to you. Let's just give it some more laps.
Amy, Jerry, business is really picking up right now. You see that Steve Grissom evidently is holding up this group of trucks. Biffle finally took a chance, drove by on the outside, and now we see all these trucks back just gnawing and clawing, trying to get by Steve Grissom's Dodge.
And a close moment here just a minute ago with Steve Grissom. He's sort of sandwiched in there. That's Whoa, Biffle gets him. He's trying to get on the binders. There is Biffle going by. Grissom gets back in the throttle and is able to shut the door on both Schrader and Houston.
Now I understand how Biffle was able to get by the 43 truck.
He biffed him.
He biffed him, got in that right rear and got him a little sideways, and when he had to back off the throttle to save it, Biffle was able to get by.
And here's the guy they're chasing. No, not the 75 and 31 up there. Whoa, Hamilton, the leader, right behind Marty Houston in the number 75, the Spears machine. But it is Bobby Hamilton thus far out of Nashville, Tennessee. His second start here in the year 2000, and he is showing the way at Martinsville Speedway. Back with more in just a moment. Our Craftsman Truck Series trucks actually practiced in the rain on the rain tires at Watkins Glen last June, but that would be history being made. Landmark day in NASCAR. This is the battle for second spot. You see
that's 75 of Marty Houston. He's a lap down. The 24 truck, the white truck up in front, is Jack Sprague. He is in second, and we're riding along with Mike Wallace, who is in third, and Joe Rudman right on his bumper. Jack Sprague, up there, the GMAC Chevrolet, seems to be struggling just a little bit. Bobby Hamilton has pulled away a little over 4 seconds in front of Sprague.
There's Wallace, the pole sitter.
Maybe let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase. Bobby Hamilton is really running well right now. There's Rick Crawford. He had some type of problem just a moment ago. Dave, what's going on with Rick Crawford?
Benny, Rick Crawford had a left rear tire go out. Billy Hodges, the Goodyear official, is still looking things over, trying to determine what is wrong with the tire. I did talk to the crew. They do coat their rims. However, it may have still been something to do with heat buildup.
Goodyear engineers examining that tire for Crawford. He's back on the racetrack in that number 14 truck.
Milwaukee Electric Tools. He right now has been shown 2 laps down by the time he limped into the pits, and they were able to change the left rear. He lost a couple of laps.
And he's 10th in points coming into here, so would like to be able to hang in the top 10. A very, very tight point race.
Crawford's going by Terry Cook on the outside. Now, Schrader said, now, I'm going to try that.
Heavy traffic now. You see Bobby Hamilton on the right side of your screen. That 4 truck that Dana Dodge trying to work some lap traffic. That is Lance Norrick in the 90. Norrick trying to move beneath Tom Carey in the 10 out of the Busch North Series. And Norris would like to stay on the lead lap.
He would love to do that. See Brian Sockwell on the 54 directly in front. And it doesn't appear as though that's going to be possible.
See Sockwell waving to the leader, Hamilton, as he comes by. Sockwell out of the NASCAR Goodies Dash Series. And Bobby Hamilton loves this racetrack. 2 poles here in Winston Cup, a dominating performance here 2 years ago when he led 378 laps to win the Goodies Body Paint 500. He won a pole here in NASCAR Craftsman Trucks back in the early years. He won here back in 1996. Harris Sprague in the 24, the GMAC.
He's up against the wall.
And B.A. Wilson, the 73 truck, has spun, and the caution flag is out. Now we'll see some pit stops, we'll see some adjustments, and we'll see who exactly has what. Right now, pit road is closed. That red flag signifies, and we see the right front tire is flat on B.A. Wilson's truck. Could it be like Rusty Wallace yesterday, that brakes has heated up that tire and melted the inside bead?
Second caution flag today coming out here by that right front tire having a problem for B.A. Wilson. He brings it limping down pit road, and as Benny Parsons said, we're talking about 250 laps, and the rules here for pit stops under caution allow you to change a maximum of 2 tires. And we'll see if some of these teams, we would expect most of them would come in. This will be they'll divide this race into 3 points, and there indeed comes the leader, Bobby Hamilton, at 35 miles an hour. He will come down, and I'm told his Kodak crew from the Winston Cup event stayed over to pit his truck here today. Hamilton and the other leaders coming down here on lap 67 make their first pit stop. Let's go down to Amy East.
Your leader, Bobby Hamilton, hits the pit stop. They're going to take on right side tires and give him the fuel that he needs at this point. We're going to now take it down to Dave Burns.
Right side tires and fuel for Dennis Setzer. He's a little bit tied off, according to crew chief Howard Comstock. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment to accommodate that. Amy.
Jack Sprague is now taking on right side tires. A little bit of trouble there on the right rear. They now go, oh, it looks like the impact gun has stalled. They're trying to get him a backup impact gun. Corey Quick on the right rear is now getting that tire with the left nuts tight. Jack Sprague, a costly stop for him. He's going to come out way back in the field.
Man, you're right, and he goes in second spot, and he's probably going to come out about 10th or 11th spot. And maybe even farther back than that, Jerry.
And that is huge, Benny, as tough as it is to pass here at Martinsville. And when you try to pass, you use up those brakes. Oh, big problem, certainly. And that's what you call an adjustable truck. Now, that's not allowed, folks. That wrench is actually supposed to be taken out when he leaves pit road, but he comes back down. And that, of course, B.A. Wilson, who brought out. And now he gets tagged from behind by Kurt Busch. Trying to exit pit road. There they will go in, make the adjustment.
And also going to raise the hood and look under there for some reason. See Joey Sontag from Dallas.
And our new leader, well, who is it? Terry Cook. Out of Sylvania, Ohio, the PickupTruck.com Chevrolet. So we are working caution for the second time today. Due to a spin up in the turn. Back with more from Martinsville in a moment. Last Thursday, Craftsman helped organize 20 riders on 18 motorcycles for a charity ride to Martinsville. The ride originated at a Sears Auto Center in Concord, North Carolina, and even stopped at Harley-Davidson of Greensboro. Various team members and drivers participated to help raise over $3,000 for Sipes Orchard Home for Children in Conover, North Carolina. Among those participating, Craftsman Truck Series regulars Andy Houston and Randy Tolsma. Both of you give so much in charities with their time.
Terry Cook, the 88 truck, did not pit, so he gets by and dives to the inside, trying to stay in front of Bobby Hamilton. But Hamilton with those fresh right sides. And Kenny Schrader must have had a bad pit stop. Schrader is now being shown a lap down in the Federated Auto Parts Chevrolet.
There's the pit summary showing you that Jack Sprague, the big loser, lost 11 spots because of that air gun that they had problems with on the right rear that Amy so quickly noted. And Sprague sat there and lost 11 positions.
Now we have a battle for second spot as Mike Wallace drives up on the outside of Terry Cook, trying to get by. He will get by.
Terry Cook's had a pretty good start this year. 3 of the 4 finishes have been in the top 10. pumping fresh tires. He's a sitting duck out there right now as some of these trucks are able to make the pass pretty easily.
And Mike Wallace drives on the inside, trying to get on the inside of his former boss. Kenny Schrader comes off the second corner.
There's the Team ASC Ford for the points leader, Mike Wallace. He slides beneath Schrader and will take the position. This is for second spot. Bobby Hamilton is the leader. Hamilton about 7 or 8 truck lengths in front of Mike Wallace here in the 2 truck. Mike already a 2-time winner this year, having won the season opener at Daytona and of course winning 2 weeks ago at Bakersfield, California.
There we see Joe Rutman, who's currently running in 3rd spot. And there we see Terry Cook and Bobby Gill. Bobby Gill in his Line-X number 15. He tested this truck in Daytona and was the fastest truck in testing. And then Jeffrey Bodine drove the truck in the Daytona race. And we all know what happened to Jeffrey Bodine down there. So this is Gill's, I think, first ride in it. This is a quality race car driver, folks.
Absolutely. Driving for Billy Ballou and Richie Waters. And I'm told that he'll probably be in this truck the rest of the year, talking about the Line-X Ford. Bobby Gill.
This is Bobby Gill's first ride in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. He is a veteran short track driver and is very good in the Hooters Cup Series and hopes to make his name here in the Truck Series. They took on right side tires on that pit sequence and they complained of a little tight condition. But yesterday, because we had a rain delay, these teams had a day off and they found leaks in both of the front calipers and had time to replace them because the trucks went through tech again this morning, so they were okay to change the front calipers, and lucky to find that yesterday.
Oh, indeed they were, Amy. Very much so.
Never see Jack Sprague trying to fight his way back. He currently is in 10th position, trying to take 9th away from Dennis Setzer. Checking our telemetry on board Dennis Setzer's Mopar Dodge, our Lucas Oil telemetry. Dennis Setzer hard on the brakes, down to 62 miles per hour. Now he will accelerate.
Take it easy leaving with it. There's no pressure behind.
Spotter's very valuable at Martinsville, telling you where you need to be and how hard you have to run, and most importantly, when you shouldn't run very hard. To be easy on those brakes. There's a look at Sprague again out the back of Setzer's Dodge. Whoa!
One spun high up on the wall. Stay to the bottom down here. Yellow's waving. Yellow's waving. That's good. We'll get her left now. We'll get her left now.
And the truck number 28 has spun, bringing out caution for the 3rd time. That is Michael. That is actually Conrad Burr. It's Michael Conrad Burr out of China Grove, North Carolina.
Conrad must have moved. He used to live in Concord. We're listing the address of China Grove, so I guess he's moved.
We can see what happened to bring out the 3rd caution flag. Did he get a little help?
No, he goes in the corner. Yes, he did get some point. The other truck, let's see as he goes by, the 31 of John Young went down in the corner, hit that curb once again with the left front, and it just shot his truck back up in the side of Conrad Burr's truck.
All right, working 3rd caution flag today due to the spin by that truck there. Conrad Burr back with more truck action from Martinsville in a moment. Back at Martinsville Speedway, 3rd caution flag today. The leaders back on pit road, some this time to get left side tires. Dave Burns.
For Steve Grissom, they may also go underneath the hood. We'll take a look here. Yes, they are. Throttle sticking for Steve Grissom. No tires, fuel only. And if anyone knows about throttle stick, ask Kenny Wallace. Not a good thing here at Martinsville. Amy East.
The Ultra Bad Boys go to work and give Mike Wallace fresh left side rubber and fuel. And he has a great stop. This is a little bit of the pit strategy. So right now, he's one of the trucks that has fresh rubber on the left side and some pretty nice looking right sides as well.
Terry Cook took this opportunity to make a pit stop, change his right sides. But now these guys, Jerry, giving up a lot of track position. We keep talking about track position. That's one reason that NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series is so good. They can only change 2 tires. So you really have have to be real picky about when you come in, when you don't, because each time you do, you give up valuable track position.
It is tire management. That's the key here in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. You're only allowed, by the way, 4 sets of tires for the whole weekend. That's just a practice, qualify, and race on that 16 total tires. Try to keep the costs down, but these guys managing their tires, and of course, you saw Mike Wallace, Andy Houston, Greg Biffle, those guys coming in to get left side, so they now have fresh tires all the way around. And as you mentioned, Terry Cook making his first pit stop of the day.
Now, Bobby Hamilton, he's sitting out there, has not changed his left sides. If this goes for about 100 laps under the green, what will Hamilton do? So maybe these guys made a wise choice. We'll have to wait and see what holds.
And a lot of racing coming your way next weekend from Talladega Super Speedway. Bud Pole qualifying at 4 Eastern time on Friday. How about the Touchstone Energy 300 for the NASCAR Busch Series Saturday at 3:30 Eastern time. And, of course, NASCAR Winston Cup Happy Hour at 6 Eastern. Sunday coverage, RPM Today, and NASCAR Today lead us up to our live flag-to-flag coverage of the NASCAR Winston Cup Die Hard 500 live on ABC Sports, followed by IROC 24 Round 2 at 5 Eastern time on ABC. Let's go down today.
Jerry, exiting pit lane now, Steve Grissom in the Petty by Dodge Ram. He came in and put on left side tires, real low on the air pressure as we get ready to go back to green. They got the throttle fixed, they think, according to crew chief Fred Wilkie.
So Hamilton and his other car, driven by Joe Ruttman, the 2 Dana Dodges, chose to stay on the racetrack. Now Schrader on the inside, trying to get a lap back. The Federated Auto Parts Chevrolet. But Hamilton appears to be just too tough.
Well, you know, Benny, I'm not sure how much this will affect Martinsville, but I heard through my scanner that Bobby Hamilton is saying he has no third gear. It didn't seem like he had any trouble on that restart, but I don't know how this will work into his pit strategy for later in the race.
Wow, no third. Oh, we see Kurt Busch back there on the inside of 18 of Joe Ruttman. Now here comes the 15 of Bobby Gill. He is currently in 3rd position.
Bobby Gill having a great run. He's a 1999 Hooters Pro Cup champion, and we mentioned a moment ago driving the Line-X Ford for Billy Ballou. By the way, Kurt Busch is being shown a lap down that 99, the Exide truck for Jack Roush. He is being shown in 17th position. Showing 15 trucks still on the lead lap.
Inside.
Busch was in front of Joe Ruttman. He got down and got so excited that get in front. He got down in turn 1, let the truck slip up a little bit, which allowed Ruttman to get back on the inside.
Here again, Joe Ruttman's in the 18 truck, left side of your screen. The 99 truck of Busch is a lap down. Then comes the 15 of Bobby Gill. He's in 3rd place.
Just settle down right now. Just run.
Well, as we approach the 100-lap mark, they are still chasing Bobby Hamilton. 95 of 250 laps are completed. It is Hamilton, Ruttman, Gill, Wallace, and Tolva. Exciting ESPN NASCAR Craftsman truck action coming your way from historic Martinsville Speedway here in Virginia. And we are under caution for the 4th time today. There's the Caterpillar Chevrolet. Just got a little bit of a bump from behind a moment ago, Benny, and that's the reason for the caution flag.
Yes, and Houston.
The pits are open, Andy. Get in here, left side.
Went in the spin cycle.
10-4.
And we see the damage to the 3 truck of Brian Raptor, so I guess I didn't exactly see it, but I guess that's who hit him to spin him out.
Left rear only. Left rear only.
See that damage in the left rear of the truck? We'll show you going into turn 3, BP.
Never see Refter in a 3, and he goes in and just drives right in the side of the 60, who goes up and almost runs in the back of Kenny Martin in the 98. Wow, and there's Scott Riggs in 84. Had that great qualifying run, started 5th. Once again, watching it, goes in the corner.
And Kenny Martin almost got spun out with a truck sideways.
And Jack Sprague able to get down on the inside of the racetrack. Terry Cook almost became a victim there. And from Dennis Setzer's on board, Mopar Dodge on board, looking right back at what happened.
Wow. I guess that was Terry Cook that said Kenny Martin that almost got spun out.
And that
First carrier, 5,500. Chris, don't bend anything back that spins and staying. Just get the gurneys out. The gurney lifts out.
There's the Menards truck. Ryan Reffner coming down pit road, and there's Andy Houston.
Gonna have to be quick. The pace truck's halfway down the back straightaway.
Let's go down to Amy.
The team is ready to give Andy some left side tires while they also work on the right front and the right rear of his truck. Damage is not too bad, but there is some damage that's going to hurt Andy Houston.
First gear, 5,500.
Steve Grissom is on and off of pit road. More work under the hood, trying to get that throttle fixed again on the 43. Remember, he has stopped 2 times for both rights and then for left side tires.
There's a look at the Petty Dodge of Steve Grissom. On and off pit road. Grissom having that good run at Bakersfield, finishing 4th, his first top 5 of the year in Craftsman truck action. Under the 4th caution flag today. We'll be right back. Perfect timing. Back to Martinsville Speedway in Virginia, set for the restart. You're on lap 108 after the caution was out for 5 laps. How about a pair of Dana Dodges? Bobby Hamilton owns them both. Ruttman in second. They lead him off of turn 2.
Rick Crawford trying to get on the inside of Mike. Love to get back up front, try to get one of his laps back.
At the view from a moment ago from the Team ASC truck for Mike Wallace, and now he is side by side with Ruttman for position. Well, almost side by side.
As Kurt Busch is up there trying once again a lap down on the next side forward. Mike Wallace says, I think I'll try to follow Kurt Busch to you, see if he can get by Ruttman. If he can,
don't be banging.
They're telling Kurt Busch, don't be banging fenders. And on the back, we see Biffle on the outside of Randy Tolsma. That is about for the 4th position.
Tolsma, the Super Guard Dodge at 25. Biffle and the Granger Select Ford. There is the 50 truck of Biffle. There's Dennis Setzer riding along with Setzer. He's going to take a look on the outside of Randy Tolsma. Setzer started back in 26th position, now being shown in 6th spot and trying to work his way into 5th.
And Ruttman and Busch are still side by side. But Busch was on the inside a little bit ago, now he's on the outside. At least they have swapped positions.
And while this battle is taking place,
Bobby up behind Joe. Inside.
Bobby hit.
Behind the 2.
Oh, we got another truck spun up in the corner. Looks like the 41 of Randy Renfro.
That indeed is Renfro bringing out the 5th caution flag today.
And he's trying to get his truck going before Hamilton goes by. And there's not a caution flag. Not a caution flag.
So a little quick in saying they might wave the yellow hanky. Let's see what happened to Renfro.
He goes in the corner. There we see Jimmy Hensley gets in the left rear of Renfro, and around he goes. That's Hensley in the 16 truck. And, man, look at all these trucks take evasive action. And somehow they all got by Renfro and did not run into him.
And here's Mike Wallace taking 2nd spot away from Ruttman. Wallace being very, very patient in that Team ASC Ford. Driving for Jim and Marlene Smith.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Wallace has 4 fresh tires, has changed 4 tires, and Carlos Serrano has some damage to the left front. He's coming in the pits in the Hot Wheels Dodge. What'd I say?
That's Carlos Contreras.
I said Serrano. That's my friend down in Tucson. I always want to call this guy Serrano. It's Contreras.
All right, let's check in with Dave there in Carlos's pit.
Carlos brings a Hot Wheels Dodge in, damage on the left front. Not going to make a tire change here, but just simply going to try to get the left front fender pulled away from his left front tire so that it doesn't go down. Right now that tire does have air, so apparently just putting the duct tape on and pulling it away is going to make Carlos race ready again.
Mexico City, Mexico for Carlos Contreras, and then the rookie driver takes the Hot Wheels Dodge back off of the pits after the crew pulling some of that sheet metal away. Here is our leader, Bobby Hamilton. What a day he is having at Martinsville Speedway. His Dana Dodge is putting it on him. Back with more NASCAR Craftsman action in a moment.
Don't run into us!
Back in Martinsville, three wide.
There's another one inside. Well, one's inside.
And Kurt Busch was in the middle of that sandwich as Jack Sprague, Randy Tolsma were there. Now, Dennis Setzer will go beneath the lap truck of Busch.
And Jack Sprague, remember, was back to 12th or 13th position. He has worked his way back to the 5th position. This is on board with Dennis Setzer's Mopar Dodge. Have a camera located up in the left front fender. Hope this camera lives all day.
Wow, what a great shot that is. Looking right underneath the X-side decals there on Kurt Busch. Now here is Sprague in the 24 truck. You heard Benny mention the Rick Hendrick owned GMAC truck. And as you said, that problem with an air gun, if you just joined us, he had an air gun problem when the right rear tire changed. When they came in and pitted on lap 73, went all the way back from 2nd to 13th spot and has now battled his way back toward the top 5. Look at there, Traxxas has never led a lap, including here at Martinsville. Pretty remarkable for a two-time champion.
Randy Renfro, the 41 truck, lap down. There was some contact. He spun up in the corner as he got his truck going again. The leader, Bobby Hamilton, went by and lapped him. 79 truck of R.D. Smith.
Well, Jack Sprague did have problems on that first round of pit stops, but on his second round, when they took on the left side tires, they had trouble with the impact wrench again. Came in 10th and went back to 13th. Not likely for this team to lose positions in the pit, but they're complaining of the lug nuts getting stuck in the gun, so they hope to get that fixed before he has to come down pit lane again.
So they will make at least one more stop. There is Randy Tolsma. Boy, if he didn't have any bad luck this year, he wouldn't have any luck at all. He could have actually won the last 2 events. He was passing for 2nd spot at Phoenix underneath Greg Biffle when a slower truck spun, took him out. He led the most laps at Bakersfield and had an engine come apart with 13 laps to go. So certainly he's had some great runs, but just has not had a bit of luck.
Right on board with Dennis Setzer. You see he goes down to 4,600 RPMs. Now watch as he accelerates down the back stretch. Looks probably up to about 8,500 RPMs.
Let's check in with Dave in the Randy Tolsma pits.
So far, so good for Randy Tolsma. They're a little bit off sequence. They've only made one stop so far. About lap 66, they changed right side tires, made a track bar adjustment. He was a little bit tight off the corners. And guys, I can't see anything as far as the duck is concerned. The bad luck duck doesn't seem to be around Randy Tolsma's pit at all.
Back it down, back it down. No caution, the truck's stuck in the bottom of the racetrack. Give room to come up. There you go.
All right, Thomas Carey. And there's the 20 truck, the MBNA America machine of Coy Gibbs. His first Craftsman Truck Series venture, and he signed up to run for Rookie of the Year, and he's stuck in the grass over there and a little bit of the wet grass from some of the rain and trying to get that truck off the curbing and the grass next to the wall.
We saw one of the cars. Oh, now it looks like he has some traction, is going to be able to get going again. There's the truck, and Bobby Hamilton's going to come in now and change the lefts. What about these guys that changed before? Are they going to come in or going to stay out? No, most of them are staying out, so Hamilton is going to get some, and Ruttman going to get terrible track position. Amy?
I don't know if this was the right pitch strategy or not, but they, regardless, have to come down and get fresh tires. But guess what, Benny? They're taking right side tires, not lefts. They're going to give him fresh right side rubber, and I believe they feel like they can go the entire way on left sides. Dave Burns.
Maybe Randy Tolsma is in now for his second stop. Left side tires and fuel. No adjustment. Rear tire change for Bobby Showalter missing school today. He's a senior in high school, but he has an excuse.
Excuse from his dad.
Of course, no one will know, since we just said it on ESPN, that he's actually here on a special work-study program, changing tires. There's a couple of the Dodges. There is Ruttman in the 18 and Hamilton in the 4. There's Tolzman, the Supercar Dodge. And we'll come on pit road here on lap 133 to make their pit stop.
Jerry Cook made a pit stop in the 88 truck. Oh, we're right. Sorry, Jerry. We'll see if we can see what happened to Coy Gibbs up in the corner. Oh, there's the 10 truck of Tom Carey. He gets a bump from Rick Corelli in the 66. He goes around and gets the truck going in the right direction and drives away. As the 10 is sitting there, where's Coy? Where's Coy? Oh, there he is. I guess he got a bump from behind from the John Young truck, and around he goes.
And from the Team ASC onboard camera, let's show you in slow motion. Look to the left side of your screen. There's the 20 truck being tapped from behind.
No, I don't think he got hit. I think he just locked up the brakes to avoid the 10 truck and spun the MBNA truck out all alone. I don't believe he got a tap.
All right, so we're working caution for the 5th time today. Coming up on lap 133. Back with more Craftsman truck action from Martinsville here in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to Martinsville Speedway in Virginia. I'm Jerry Punch along with Benny Parsons, Amy East, and Dave Burns, bringing you exciting NASCAR Truck Series action. Just finishing our 5th caution flag today with a spin by Tom Carey and a secondary spin by Coy Gibbs. Some of the leaders pitting during that caution flag a moment ago: Bobby Hamilton, Joe Ruttman, and Randy Tolzman, now mired back in heavy traffic as you ride along with the Team ASC Ultra Wheels Ford. A points leader, Mike Wallace.
He's able to get by the 90 truck of Lance Norick. Now Biffle running in second spot. The Ranger truck trying to get by. And here comes Jack Sprague, that 24 truck.
Mike Wallace, the leader, has never finished better than 22nd here at Martinsville. He's coming off a short track victory at Bakersfield just a couple of weeks ago. Of course, he won the season opener at Daytona.
Dennis Setzer, 4th place truck, the number 1 Mopar Dodge. The 3 truck of Rep, and look at the Dana trucks. And Ruttman is going by Hamilton on the outside end of the truck spot. Andy Houston spun off the corner.
And as thus far, no yellow. We do not see the yellow flag waving from Roy Selby, so we will stay green. Andy Houston is becoming the cue ball today. He's been hit by a number of different trucks, damage on the front and rear of his Caterpillar Chevrolet. We stay green.
That 9 truck, the silver one, is Lance Hooper. He has some pretty good damage to the right front of that truck now, and unfortunately, that's up where all the brake ducts going to cool the brakes.
There's Bobby Hamilton, who has led the majority of this race today. Hamilton has led 128 of the 143 laps that we have run thus far.
And Jack Sprague goes by. Biffle takes over that 2nd spot. Right now, Sprague is about a 1.5 seconds behind Mike Wallace. We'll see if he can close in on that Team ASC Ford.
Sprague and Biffle, the 2 principals in the points race a year ago. 8 points separated those 2 for the final championship. Take a look at our Dodge race recap. The leader is Mike Wallace, has led 11 of 144 laps. There have been 4 lead changes, 5 cautions for a total of 28 laps. The average speed just over 73.5 miles per hour because of those 5 caution flags. Bobby Hamilton, as I said a moment ago, dominated the day thus far. Harry Cook led 11 laps, led 5 laps rather, and Mike Wallace has led 11. Mike Cope with a rear end problem behind the wall in the RC Cola Dodge. We are approaching the 100 lap to go mark here at Martinsville Speedway in the 6th running of the Napa 250. Mike Wallace, the guy they're chasing. Back at Martinsville Speedway, 6th caution flag of the day as the leaders head to pit road. Let's go down to Dave Burns.
Dennis Setzer is in, right side tires. Crew Chief Howard Comstock says they're right about where they want to be, but they are going to make a track bar, actually a wedge adjustment, track bar adjustment on Dennis Setzer. Amy East.
Your leader, Mike Wallace,
Wallace comes in, and with 100 laps to go, he's going to get fresh right-side tires from the Ultra Bad Boys. No chassis adjustment, slight tire pressure adjustment. Jets down, and Mike Wallace is out with another great stop.
See the flagman there with the board. Stable tell them that they've got to stop till all the traffic goes by.
It's Mike Golden there holding, that's a stop-and-go paddle. Now he turns the green side, the go side, so both Mike Wallace and Greg Biffle will be able to... They're pulling the sheet metal away from Andy Houston's Caterpillar Chevy. He has had a couple of shunts today with a few other drivers on the racetrack. Andy's second in the points.
Sell that damage to the right front of the Cat Rental Chevrolet. Let's see if we can see what happens. Goes in the corner. That's the 14 of Rick Crawford, and he just gets in there. Looks like he gets in the curb, and around he goes. And I guess someone came along behind Steve Grissom and ran in the right front.
All right, we are under the 6th caution flag today, and this one being brought up just a moment ago by Tom Carey in the 10 truck, who actually spun down the middle of the back straightaway. His truck coming around and careening against the inside wall. That's why we run this most current caution flag of the day. Back with the final 100 laps at Martinsville in just a moment. Back in Martinsville Speedway, Bobby Gill will lead him down the Line-X Ford as the green flag waves from Roy Selby. Restart on lap 156. And the 40-year-old driver from Dalton, Georgia. With 10 NASCAR Slim Jim All-Pro Series victories to his credit, leading the field here at Martinsville.
Terry Cook in the pickup truck.com in second place. We see Kurt Busch still that Exide truck a lap down, trying to get up there. He and Schrader are battling for position. This is the 15th position. We're riding on board the Federated Auto Parts truck of Kenny Schrader. Also looking at the telemetry on board with Schrader.
The brake pedal light comes glowing there as they get to the end of these long straightaways. They describe Martinsville as a paperclip shaped facility, 2 long drag strip type straightaways and very tight turns.
Mike Wallace and Greg Biffle battling for that 3rd spot.
Biffle on the outside of Schrader. Jack Sprague in the 24 back there. He is being shown in the 5th position.
Sprague was in front of Biffle before the pit stops, but the Biffle Granger crew beat the GMAC crew off pit road. Picked Biffle up a spot.
How about Brian Refner in that Menards truck? That's Chevrolet number 3, one of his better runs. Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin driver, being shown in the 6th position.
And look at, he's on the inside of Sprague, going in turn 3. Sprague is trying to get around the lap truck of Schrader. I thought the door was going to be open for Refner to take that spot away, but Schrader is there.
Refner will try Schrader up, but he on the high side, but Schrader will slam the door. Refner looks to the inside of the lap truck of Kenny Schrader. Has to back out of it.
And right behind Refner is one, Dennis Setzer, the Mopar Dodge.
Riding along with the Mopar roof camera for Dennis Setzer. You take a look at our Lucas Oil telemetry. We'll see what kind of speed he turns here.
Up to 117, slams on the brakes and slows down to 62 miles per hour before he starts that process all over again. Watch the RPMs, 8,800. Trying to turn the engine a lot of RPMs to help it slow the truck down when he gets to the corner.
Well, here's the guy they're chasing, Bobby Gill out of Dalton, Georgia, as we check in his pits with Amy.
Just got the word from crew chief Richie Waters that they decided not to pit because older right side tires take the tightness away from the truck, and Bobby feels like he has a strong truck right now. A couple stops ago they took on fresh left sides, and they said if there's going to be a yellow soon, they may come down for fresh rights.
He's got a problem now. Bobby Gill is off the pace and looks like the engine has died or he's broken a gear or something. And we see some damage to the left rear when he backed off. Someone ran in the back of him, and I don't think he's going to be able to move from there.
No yellow. No yellow.
Well, they're going to have to eventually throw yellow because he's not going to be able to move from up there on the outside of turn 2. So there's the Line-X. What a tough break for the Line-X Ford team. Billy Ballou and Bobby Gill, the driver, Ballou, the owner. As now the caution flag does come out for the 7th time today. Roy Selby waving the yellow flag, and because of that car, that truck 15 stalled up there in turn 2.
And Mike Wallace now has the lead. Terry Cook is in second. Jack Sprague's been able to get by Biffle. He's in third. Biffle and the 3 of Brian Refter. Let's see, as he comes off the corner, it just dies. It just absolutely dies. And Crawford is the truck that ran in the back of the left rear.
We're being told that it may be a brake problem, but you got to wonder if it just didn't just stop pulling all of a sudden, like the gear went away because it just stopped pulling. He was in the throttle and just quit.
Something happened, and we see some trucks making some pit stops. Dave Burns.
And Greg Biffle is coming in. They put on left side tires 2 stops in a row. Now they'll put on their last right side tires for Biffle. Meanwhile, Terry Glick will put on left side tires. They didn't want to have to stop again, but he is in and gives up that track position.
Boy, close quarters there in the pits. There's Grissom coming out. There's the 88 truck. Good pit stop for Terry Cook and company. And what a good run we're having today for Brian Refner. As we work the 7th caution flag of today, they are being stopped at the end of the pit road. Back with the conclusion here of NASCAR truck action in just a moment. Back at Martinsville Speedway, Jerry Punch along with Benny Parsons, Amy East, and Dave Burns. Glad to have you with us as we restart here on lap 172. 7th caution flag today, and our pole sitter, Mike Wallace, back up front. And he'd like to stay there, Benny, because it's a $10,000 bonus that goes to the team from Craftsman if you win from the pole.
Right now he's going to have some trouble because Jack Sprague right on his back tailgate, and Dennis Setzer. Here comes those Dana Dodges that have been so strong all day long.
Wallace, Sprague, Setzer, 1, 2, 3. Then, as Benny mentioned, a pair of blue, red, and white Dodges coming at you. And the last caution flag a moment ago was for Bobby Gill. Amy, what happened?
Just after we were updating how great his truck was, something went away from you. Was it a rear end gear?
It did. The Line-X Ford's running good tonight. We stayed out earlier and put on left side. The truck was real tight. And the longer run, the better got. So Ricky said stay out when you come to press out. Something in a drivetrain or something broke in the rear end.
All right. Well, Bobby Gill had a really strong truck up until then. Just bad luck. But hey, that's short track racing.
Ron McGlynn spun the 0-0, but gets his truck going again, does not bring out the caution flag. And we saw that Rutman moved over, let the boss go. Talking about Bobby Hamilton, see if he can chase down those front 3 trucks.
The boss, you mean Hamilton, owns both those trucks, both those blue identically painted Dodges.
Look at that Ford truck go in the corner and just close up bus lengths, it appears like, on Dennis Setzer.
Like a rocket ship. That Setzer's Mopar Dodge right in front of him. Kay Keselowski on the machine looking back from Setzer's onboard. That is Hamilton. As you said, if you just joined us, Hamilton dominated the first half of this race, leading 128 laps. Sprague, Setzer, and Hamilton, second, third, and fourth.
Is pulled away, as you can see, about 4 or 5 car lengths. That's on our computer shows to be about 1 second in front of Jack Sprague. But here comes Hamilton on the outside. He's got a good run now. If he can keep that one Mopar Dodge down, and so he can't bring it off the corner too good. He gets a good run down the straightaway.
Got a Ford leading the way with Mike Wallace, a Chevy in second with Sprague, and a pair of Dodges going at it for 3rd position. Hamilton will take the spot away, so Dodge takes 3rd, 4th, and 5th with Hamilton, Setzer, and Rutman.
Dennis Setzer started 26 today, marched his way all the way up to the front, and they have made 3 pit stops. I just checked with Howard Comstock, his crew chief, to talk about Dennis's excitement level. Has he been calm and cool? Will he keep the thing under control? And Howard winked at me and nodded yes. Dennis has been cool all day long, so the driver has his head in the game today here at Martinsville.
And how about a call to Scott Riggs in an 84 truck, his 3rd ever truck race. Benny, he ran an IRP in Richmond last year. His best finish was a 19th in IRP. Had a great qualifying effort, and now as the caution comes out again, Marty
no caution yet. No caution yet. And it looks like we're not going to have a caution flag, Jerry.
Marty Houston gets it fired and headed back. So no debris, no crime, no foul. Everybody going in the right direction. And there's the leader right behind him as you ride along with Steve Grissom in the Petty Dodge.
That's Coy Gibbs, the MBNA. And Kenny Martin, the 98 truck. Something dragging from the rear of that vehicle. And there's Scott Riggs about to get some contact with Terry Cook.
Scott Riggs qualified 5th today. Late model stock car driver, won 3 different qualifying heats here in the past. As a battle heats up for 2nd spot. Here is Hamilton, and he makes it look easy going beneath spray.
Makes it look real easy. Now Mike Wallace has got to be a little concerned because Hamilton right now is only a little over 1 second behind him.
Well, after 183 laps, Mike Wallace is showing the way, but Bobby Hamilton is a man on a mission. Exciting heats up. And let's bring you up to speed on what's happening NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series style. Martinsville, it can be mean to both man and machine, but short track racing and trucks are quite the combination. Action all around this flat half-mile facility. As we get it on, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series style, talking about getting it on. Benny, battle for the lead.
Hamilton on the outside of Mike Wallace and goes in 3 and takes the lead. And Jack Sprague, the 24 truck, has caught these 2 trucks. But Hamilton, the way the strength that he's shown today, Jerry, I don't know if anyone can get back by that 4 Dodge.
I don't know anyone that can touch that 4 Dodge today. The Dana Dodge of Bobby Hamilton qualified on the outside front row and made that pass look pretty easy.
Oh, we've got a spinner. That's Rob Morgan down in 46. So far, no caution. Can he get the truck going again?
Now he is across that yellow curbing down there between turns 1 and 2.
Yellow's waving. Yellow's waving.
I'm sorry, Jerry. Kenny Martin also looks like he's in the outside retaining wall. Looks like some pretty good damage to that right front of his truck.
Kenny Martin, the rookie who had run a number of ARCA races in the past and trying to peel that truck away from the concrete. As you said, Benny, heavy damage and parts rolling down across the racetrack from the front of that truck. Looks like part of a shock absorber.
Yes, the shock absorber has broken. And
great camera work, guys. Parts and pieces flying here at Martinsville down across the racetrack. We told you this place can be mean to man and machine. Let's show you what happened to bring out the 8th caution flag of the day.
Well, we see the 98 truck there and Rob Morgan. And I don't know if there was contact that might have punctured the right front tire. Let's see going down in the corner. Now this is Kenny Martin when his right front tire goes flat and he goes in the turn 3 wall.
And from Schrader from the Federated Auto Parts truck, and the pieces and parts are flying. He just go by. You see Morgan's truck had spun there. And up to the right of the screen, Kenny Martin has already tagged the wall. There is Kenny Martin's truck still sitting up against the wall as the safety crews are up there to try to help give that truck an assist. We are inside the 50 lap to go mark at Martinsville. Bobby Hamilton having the kind of day a driver dreams about, Benny. When you have this kind of dominant vehicle on a racetrack, you don't want this thing ever to end.
That's for doggone sure. Several trucks on the lead lap made pit stops right now. I'm not sure that they'll be able to wade their way back through the traffic. I know Terry Cook was in, Andy Houston. Scott Riggs made a pit stop.
All right, let's check in on our leaders' pits with Dave Burns.
Well, Jerry, you talk about having a great day as Bobby Hamilton is. In recent testing, they took 2 trucks to Greenville-Pickens Speedway to test for this race. The truck that Hamilton is driving is called Goober. That truck was actually a tenth of a second faster than the truck called Catfish, which is Joe Ruttman's favorite. As the boss, Hamilton always lets Ruttman make the choice on the trucks. Ruttman chose his favorite Catfish and left Hamilton with Goober. Goober's quicker.
And Goober's getting it done right now here, Dave. Thank you very much as we check in tonight at 6:30 Eastern Time with John Kernan on RPM tonight. NASCAR Craftsman truck highlights, Indy 500 testing, and NHRA highlights from Las Vegas. That's Kernan tonight, RPM at 6:30 Eastern. Completing the 8th caution flag of today. We go back to green flag racing here on lap 211 at Martinsville Speedway. Bobby Hamilton showing the way down in turn 1. Mike Wallace in 2nd spot. Jack Sprague is 3rd. Setzer 4th. And Ruttman is 5th with Tolsma 6th. Grissom Biffle in 8th spot. That's a top 8. As we will have 40 laps to go this time by.
And the 43 truck of Steve Grissom has dove on the inside and taken that 6th spot away from Randy Tolsma.
There is the Petty Dodge for Steve Grissom, starting back in 13th position. Grissom coming off that great 4th place finish at Bakersfield. Whoa, trouble, and a whole bevy of trucks have come together up in turn 4.
Kurt Busch and Terry Cook have gotten together, and obviously the left front tire is flat on Busch's truck.
We're going to need a spoon, guys. We don't need any gas, right?
You see the damage, the right front damage of Terry Cook's truck. And once again, the caution flag waves.
And the 31 truck has also looped it around up there. That is John Young out of Woodside, California, here on this 9th caution flag of the day. Sunday's NASCAR Wiston Cup action here. There were 17 caution flags, a record for Martinsville, and we're moving in on close to 10 here. There's the damage on Terry Cook's truck. Right side, right front damage. Part of that front nose pushed away. And here's Kurt Busch in the pits. Dave Burns is there.
Close to where it's supposed to be.
Larry, he's getting an education today here at Martinsville. The leading rookie taking on left side tires now and pulling away damage on the left side and also on the right front. He did check with his teammate Jeff Burton, who finished yesterday in the Winston Cup race. Got a little advice from him, but no substitute for beating and banging here at Martinsville, guys.
And looks like he's going to go another lap down as they work on the truck. They let it down, and he starts to move forward, but the Hayes truck has already gone by, so he will lose one more lap.
Matt Chambers and company.
How bad's the right side, Rob? Just away from the tires. Right side looks okay, man. Guys, grab more right side tires.
Let's go back down to Amy East.
Extensive damage to the front end of Terry Cook's Chevrolet. They are trying to peel away the front end of his truck, but there is a lot of air duct work there that they can't. Oh, man, they've basically torn off the whole front nose of Terry Cook's 88 PickupTruck.com Chevrolet.
Well, Jerry Cook and company doing a little modification there. That's what's supposed to be on the front of that truck right now. And that's what it looks like without the front grill. See some of those bars that have been shoved in. And we'll show you what happened just a moment ago to bring out caution number 9.
There we see Cook spinning, and as he goes around, there comes the 99 of Busch into that right front. And we don't see John. We don't know exactly what caused Terry Cook to spin up in the corner.
And Kurt Busch was just a victim there. He was trying to go around. Here's from Schrader's Federated onboard camera, Federated Auto Parts.
And Schrader just barely got by. And there we see the 31 truck go in and just, that must be oil. I wonder if there's oil up in that corner is why Terry Cook spun originally, because there's no reason for John Cook to spin there. And they've got to get that sheet metal off the grill. I mean, that was the grill work, the duct work that was there. Right now it's blocking the air going to the radiator. So they're going to have to get that so the air will at least hit the radiator.
Terry Cook back down pit road to PickupTruck.com Chevrolet. He has led here today, led 6 laps, led on 2 different occasions for a total of 6 laps. And there's the crew now working on Terry Cook's machine. Jerry Cook and company on the Duke Thorson Chevrolet.
I see some steam coming out the radiator. I do believe he's punctured a hole in the radiator. Yep. There's the telltale water on pit road.
NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series action. You like this? We got more coming your way from Portland, Oregon in a couple of weeks. The Oregon 225. That's at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern time, Saturday, April 22nd. We'll be out on the 1.95-mile road course at Portland International Raceway. And you could see history made out there.
Ready. Green
These
flag,
trucks
green
will
flag.
run on the rain tires if need be out there. He started lap 219, so just 31 laps to go here at Martinsville. Bobby Hamilton showing them down out of turn 2. Mike Wallace in second position. Back in third is Sprague. Dennis Setzer is fourth. Ruttman is fifth, with Grissom, Tolsma, Biffle, and the 3 truck of Brian Refner rounding out the top 9. All right, let's check back into the pits where Dave Burns, I believe, is caught up with Howard Comstock.
That's right, Howard. Does Dennis have the stuff to make it by those guys at the front at the last part of this race?
We're a little bit tight right now, but it looks like everybody else is getting a little loose. The longer we run on our right, the better off we've been. So I think we still got some left.
Okay, he said the longer they run, guys, and we've got about 30 laps remaining, that will put 100 laps on those right side tires for Dennis Setzer. They've run them that far this weekend in practice, and he thinks they'll be quickest if they do it here at the end.
A year ago, Setzer was the man to beat here and ended up cutting a tire with less than 40 laps to go, which cost him a shot at victory. Can he make it up today? We'll find out when we come back. We welcome you back to Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia, as we close in on 20 laps to go. I'm Jerry Punch, along with Benny Parsons, Amy East, and Dave Burns, bringing you the exciting conclusion of the Napa 250 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series event. Bobby Hamilton is our leader, and Hamilton has never won in Truck Series competition. His best finish of 4th at Fontana. Kenny Schrader, who's in this race today, has won at Saugus back at Santa Clarita back in 1995. But how about those Winston Cup drivers coming to the trucks, finding it a little bit tough here to compete and win?
There's our battle for second spot between the number 2, Mike Wallace, our pole sitter, and Jack Sprague, GMAC Chevrolet. But right at the top of the screen, that red truck, Steve Grissom, back in 6th spot, trying to get on the inside of Joe Ruttman. There's one out of the Dodge by Petty.
Grissom had come in for a tire change on lap 167. So, and remember, the Petty truck won here last year with Jimmy Hensley aboard. Starting back in 9th position a year ago, Hensley won. Grissom started 13th today. There's a look at the Petty Dodge. We told you at the top of the show.
And there he's on the inside of Ruttman. But now the Kurt Busch truck is going. There's several slow trucks. Oh, and Grissom has to back out.
There's Setzer left side of your screen, the 9 truck there. Lance Hooper. Here comes Ruttman and Grissom. Now Grissom will have to do it all over again. He's running out of time. Just 16 laps to go. This battle you're watching is about 4 seconds behind the leader, Bobby Hamilton. Once again, that is Joe Ruttman in the Dana Dodge, the 18 Dodge, right in front, looking off for the roof camera there of Steve Grissom's Dodge by Petty.
And we see the Lucas Oil telemetry, 8,700 RPMs, down to 4,700. Now he'll accelerate down the backstretch. And how these engines survive is beyond me. 8,700 RPMs.
Wow.
And in qualifying, they probably turn them well over 9,000.
This saw Setzer flash by. Now here's Ruttman and Grissom.
Right now, the 43 Dodge is a little faster than the 18 of Ruttman, but being faster and passing at a difficult track like this to pass. It's two entire different situations. And he doesn't have the strength that Bobby Hamilton had to pull up on the outside and make a pass. He's got to do it on the inside. Try to get under Ruttman as he come off the corner, get position.
Ruttman slipping up just slightly, but not enough for Grissom to be able to get a nose. Now Grissom sneaks a peek to the inside, but no, Ruttman will slam the door.
Now all he's trying to do is he's trying to get Ruttman in the corner a little too hard. He keeps going out of his mirror, going down on the inside, going out of his mirror, trying to get him to drive that Dana Dodge in the corner a little too strong.
Now here's a battle heating up here. Mike Wallace in second spot. As you see these trucks continuing to battle Ruttman and Grissom. There is Setzer. Now he has called his run-in on the 24 truck of Sprague. As we are going to get the 10-lap to go signal next time by. There is Mike Wallace, the 2 truck. In second spot, there is Sprague, the 24, and Setzer, the 1. That is second, third, and fourth.
And that time, Mike Wallace had the fastest lap of all the lead lap trucks. But right now, Mike Wallace is over 2 seconds behind Bobby Hamilton. Ooh, Wallace a little loose off turn 4.
Inside of 10 laps to go. Bobby Hamilton as our leader. He's about 2.5 seconds in front of this battle. The 2 truck, Team ASC Ford of Mike Wallace, a 2-time winner this season and points leader, is in second spot. Trying to hold off the GMAC Chevy of Sprague. So it is Ford with Wallace, Chevy with Sprague, and Dodge with Setzer. Second, third, and fourth. There is the Dodge of Bobby Hamilton. What a dominating day he has had, leading over 170 laps at Martinsville. Now Setzer will look to the high side of Sprague. That is 4th position for third spot. He can't make it stick.
Setzer tried to drive up on the outside, tried to make something happen. He's going to try it again.
Setzer's got a fender alongside, and can he make it stick? He's hanging there. Sprague will pull him on the straightaway. And it's still Wallace, Sprague, and Setzer, second, third, and fourth. There's the interval for Bobby Hamilton. You see his interval now 3 seconds as these 3 trucks are battling among themselves. Less than 5 to go, about 4.5 laps this time by. Then pulling back down to the inside.
I think Greg Biffle has a flat tire or something. He's limping, trying to last to the end in the Granger Ford.
Jack Sprague in third spot, trying to hold on.
And we see that Grissom finally got by Joe Ruttman, moved into 5th, but with just about 3.5 laps to go, I don't know what he can do with the 1 and the rest of these trucks.
But he's coming in a hurry. We're talking about that red and white number 43, the Petty Dodge. We're riding along with Grissom, and with 2.5 to go, he has caught Setzer, Sprague, and Wallace. But will he have enough time? Will they give him any room? I doubt it.
Not much.
Going to give you anything at Martinsville Speedway. 2 laps to go. Hamilton is in the lead by 3 seconds, but here's the best battle on the racetrack. Wallace in second spot, Sprague, Setzer, and Grissom second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Wallace moves down to make sure. There we see the slow truck of Greg Biffle as he's just trying to finish this thing. White flag is out.
White flag, 1 more lap. There is Bobby Hamilton, 42 years of age, from Nashville, Tennessee. Hamilton comes down on a turn 4 for the final lap and will win the Napa 250 at Martinsville. Here's the scramble for second spot. Wallace, Sprague, Setzer, Grissom, Ruttman, and Tolsma in that order. 2nd through 7th, less than a 1.5 second separation. When we come back, we'll talk to Bobby Hamilton, who dominated the day. It was NASCAR's Mopar Magic at Martinsville. Stay with us. The Amy East in victory lane. Amy?
In just his 14th start, Bobby Hamilton has a victory in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. The Dana Dodge crew cheers on their team owner. Bobby, you're the 4th driver to win in all 3 NASCAR Winston Cup, Busch, and now a truck victory. Hasn't been done since '96. You've been waiting for this for a long time.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. I'm just really proud of the guys on this team. They've a big turnaround from last year. Dana Corporation, all the products that helped us there. And this Dodge was round tough today. It was a good truck. But they done an excellent job. I want to thank the Kodak bunch for staying. We're getting ready to go to Talladega, and I know that hindered us a little bit, so I want to tell Larry McClure we appreciate that. But it's a great day. I mean, Goodyear had a great tire. They had a great tire yesterday. That's what made the racing so tight, but this truck was really hooked up today.
You know, what's so tough about this truck series? Although your truck doesn't have any dents in it, you kind of kept your nose clean all day.
Yeah, I don't know. It's you stay up front here, you usually benefit, keep a lot of air in the nose and everything, but I want to tell you what, people need to pay a lot of attention to what goes in the Craftsman Truck Series because there's a lot of hard racing. Me and Mike Wallace had a class race there. He's a class act, but they do it every week. They race week in, week out like that, and we just need everybody to start coming more truck races.
Okay, well, good luck next weekend in Talladega with the Winston Cup car, but a second place, quite a straightaway back, is Mike Wallace standing by with Dave Burns.
And, Amy, he will remain the points leader now. Mike, what did you not have for Bobby Hamilton today?
He just turned better in the center. You know, Bobby's got a lot of experience here, and to run second to him, we don't have nothing to be ashamed of. We ran well. We just weren't as good as he was, but the Team ASE Ford F-150 ran extremely well today. My daughter, Lindsay, it's her 15th birthday tomorrow. Told her we'd run good up here for her today and wish her a happy birthday. And Carla's grandma, Louise, isn't doing too good back in St. Louis, so best wishes to her.
All right, even in second, a good day for Mike Wallace.
All right, a great run from Mike Wallace. And I echo those remarks from Bobby Hamilton. NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series racing, outstanding as always. Bobby Hamilton leads them down for the win, led the most laps. You see there were 11 trucks finishing on the lead lap, including Andy Houston, who had to dodge everything. He had everything but the lottery out there. Has lots of action there. And what a great run for the 84 truck. Scott Riggs out of Durham, North Carolina, his first start here in the year 2000.
See a bunch of trucks that had trouble today. And there are some guys that really had a lot of trouble. Mike Cope early. Bobby Gill ran so well to end up finishing 34th today.
Got to believe Bobby Gill is going to be a factor before this year's out and have Billy Ballou Line-X Ford truck. Well, as you heard a moment ago, Mike Wallace will stay atop the point standings. That great second-place run today. Andy Houston drops back from 14 to 59 back. There's Jack Sprague, Kurt Busch. Steve Grissom in that Petty Dodge in 5th spot. Joe Ruttman will lose a spot back to 6th. Greg Biffle, Dennis Setzer, Terry Cook, and Rick Crawford rounding out the top 10. Well, the King, Richard Petty, stayed an extra day after what has been a very emotionally difficult week, losing, of course, his dad, the legendary patriarch of the Petty family, Lee Petty, last Wednesday. This is their home racetrack. The Petty's well known for their success here. 19 times they have gone to victory lane in Winston Cup. And, of course, he won with his truck here, the Dodge, last spring in this event. And speaking about truck racing, we're going to go out to Portland, Oregon on Saturday, April 22nd at 3 Eastern Time, noon Pacific for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Oregon 225. Coming up next, ASA World Tour, the 1999 Pro Inline Best Trick Series. For Benny Parsons, Dave Burns, and Amy East, I'm Jerry Punch. Once again, congratulating Bobby Hamilton and his entire Dana Dodge crew on a dominating day at Martinsville Speedway. How about it? 5 Dodges finished in the top 10. It's that Mopar magic working at Martinsville. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, a part of the Go Network, go.com.